Hello everyone, and today I want to talk about the topic after gale and flood, humans always nature. And today I will reflect the typhoon Morakot, which is caused very severe influence on my hometown, located in the southern Taiwan. And I am Henry Chen. So without further ado, let's move on to our first slide. Sure. First of all, we will talk about our table content today. And first of all, we will introduce how Taiwan can be the hotspot of a natural disaster. And the second, I will introduce the profile of a typhoon Morakot. And the third one, we will illustrate the fixed factor and the ecological variable, which led to the very severe influence from the typhoon Morakot. And next one, I will introduce what the victims saw in the aftermath of this typhoon, and finally, it's my own personal reflection. So let's move on to how Taiwan can be the hotspot of the natural disaster. And I will distribute our parts into two categories. And first of all is a geological background. Well, as you know, typhoon is not very relevant to the geological condition. So I will just give you some very brief introduction about the geological backdrop of Taiwan. Yeah, and as you can see, convergent boundary between the Philippine Sea Plate and the Eurasian Plate, and this location also part of the Ring of Fire. So it is the reason why frequent volcanic activities and earthquake very often occurred in Taiwan. But uh, fortunate enough, most of land are very hard to sense, but there are still some very critical one happened in Taiwanese history. And the most important one is the Jeju earthquake, which occurred in the central part of Taiwan in 1939 and taken 90 and taken over 2,000 casualties in this incident. And we will move our focus into a climate background. And as you can see, we have learned the monsoon climate a few weeks before, right? But so we will focus on the monsoon climate in Taiwan and also another Southeast Asian country. Taiwan was impacted by East Asian monsoon and light in the Tropic of Cancer, and as a, and precipitation precipitation brought from the monsoon can be highly condensed in the summer during in Taiwan, and Taiwan also lies in the subtropical and the tropical area, and also attribute to the Earth's rotation. Taiwan is lie in the regular route for typhoon. So based on the statistic published by the Central Climate Bureau, Taiwan has been hit by 3 to 5 typhoons annually in average. Yeah, so we will talk about the profile of a typhoon Morakot, and the typhoon Morakot caused a very substantial influence on my hometown, and my hometown is located in the southern part of Taiwan. Yeah, as you can see, typhoon Morakot was formed in August 2nd, 2009, and it dissipated on August 11, 2009, and the time period when it officially invaded in Taiwan is from August 7 to August 10. Well, the time period is only for 4 days, but it also has caused very significant damage to Taiwan, not only Taiwanese property, but also it eliminated lots of casualties. Yeah, and the maximum is the intensity near typhoon center is 40 meters per second. And we can, but as we learned that the wind speed near the typhoon center can be the more intense, can be the most intense. Yeah, but the reason why typhoon Morakot can cause very severe impact on Taiwan is not about its wind speed, it's their precipitation, in other words, rainfall. Yeah, it has caused record-breaking rainfall for 48 hours in Taiwan's solar history. But if we look more specifically, uh, Typhoon Morakot has caused 2,361 millimeters in Mountain Alley of southern Taiwan. Yeah, once again, southern Taiwan. And as you can witness, the world record is 2,467. So it's not a huge difference between each other. Yeah, right. And if we look into the living lost, then we can find Typhoon Morocco has taken away 602 and 20 deaths and up to 80 unaccounted. Yeah, and as for the economic damage, as you can see, it's 16.5 billion new Taiwan dollars, equivalent to 700 million Singaporean dollars. It's a very frightening figure. And we will look into the fixed factor. One is monsoon climate and the terrain, and we will distribute our narrative into two categories. And first of all is the primary sector, southwesterly flow, led by the synthesis and the collaboration of Taiwan and southwest monsoon. As you can see the satellite image on the right hand side, the turquoise arrow indicates the direction of the southwestern flow. Yeah, and as you can see, southern part of Taiwan is a frontier to encounter southwestern flow. So that's a reason why this typhoon can cause very influential damage to my home country. Yeah, and the southwest flow bring overwhelmingly abundant moisture from South China Sea. As you can see, the typhoon has have very bountiful moisture in itself. So after the synthesis between the monsoon and the typhoon, the potency of the typhoon will be further increased. Yeah, the secondary factor is the speed during landing is only 9.1 kilometer per hour. As we can see the bar graph on the right hand side. If we see more specifically on the Typhoon Morakot, you can find the figure of the landing speed of the Typhoon Morakot is relatively lower than other typhoons. Yeah, and also another natural factor is Taiwan is a mountainous island. Two-thirds of the land is covered with the mountains, and the mountain range trend vertical to typhoon routes. Because the typhoon mountain range of Taiwan is the south north. But as you can see in the previous slide, that the typhoon route is from east to west. So this kind of situation will also mitigate the speed of the typhoon. In turn, led to the more rainfall happened in Taiwan. Yeah, and next one I will talk about the ecological variable. And first of all, we will introduce a determination of a mountainous area. And also we will distribute our points into four parts. And the first of all is to minimize the economic disparity between urban and the rural area. So the deforestation and extension of a mountainous community will prevalence occurred in Taiwan throughout history, as you can see the picture on the right hand side. And the second one is the experience of agrarian activities in high altitude area to further activate the economy in rural area. The government has highly encouraged the farmers in the rural area to plant some highly productive uh, crops such as rice, tea, and vegetables. And as you know, this kind of the plantation need lots of the land, so they have to remove the forest overlayer to make a room for land to plant the not only the rice but also tea and the vegetables. Yeah, and the third one is the traffic connection strictly from the north-south mountain ranges, and the establishment of a major track to promote interaction between eastern and the western Taiwan. As due in terms of the statistic, the majority of the Taiwanese population are condensed in the western part of Taiwan. So this kind of situation led to the difference between eastern and the western Taiwan is very large. So to alleviate these differences, Taiwanese government built three main highway to connect and to promote the integration between eastern and the western side of Taiwan. And as you know, building this road will require lots of land, so the deforestation will also happen during this construction. Yeah, and the last one is the development development of mountainous tourism. As we can see the picture on the right hand side, the numerous hotel and the tourism sites constructed the riverbank and hillside. And as you can see, this kind of construction will also degraded the soil. Yeah, and we will look into another ecological variable is climate change. Yeah, and as you can see, human-induced climate change is driving the increase of the global temperature and the rising temperature of ocean surface and the subsurface strengthen the potent of typhoon because the cold water in the beneath of the seawater couldn't efficiently rise to the surface. This so the obstruction of the circulation will lead to the temperature of the seawater on the surface dramatically increased, and lead to more seawater vaporizing. In the eventually led to the moisture in the typhoon will more condensely accumulated. Yeah, and so the yearly rainfall rates in the northwest Pacific ascended from 1.9 to 2.4 millimeter per hour. Yeah, and you can see the line graph on the right, especially for the picture pointed by the red arrow. The figure dramatically ascended in 30 years. It's very exaggerated figures. Yeah, and the first one, I will show you a testimony with the human impacts, but due to a technical problem, so I couldn't play the video here. So if you are really interested in this issue, I highly recommend you can type the keyword to browse the information or see the relevant videos. And the first one is the submersion or landslide of a mountainous village. Yeah, because as I mentioned before, our government want to alleviate the difference between urban and the rural area. So they highly motivates the local residents to expand their residential area, and these circumstances led to the degradation of the soil. So when the typhoon comes, the potence and the intensity of the mudslide can overwhelmingly devour the whole village. And the case here is a Shaolin village, which is also located in the southern part of Taiwan. And the second one is a collapse of a real hotel light on the riverbank. Yeah, and also our government want to encourage the tourism industry in the rural area. So lots of the hotel and the tourism board will build their hotel on the riverbank. But as you know, the foundation of the riverbank is not very stable, and so when we construct excessive construction on the riverbank, it will also lead to the degradation of the soil. So when the typhoon comes, the flood brought by the upstreams of the river, it will also lead to the collapse of the hotel on this area. Yeah, and okay, so let's delve into what the victims saw in the aftermath of this typhoon. And the case we will introduce is Yazhu and her sisters, and their father's life was taken by this typhoon. And during that time, their father was working in the riverbank, but he didn't found the typhoon has already come and the river has already flooded, so he didn't have enough time to evacuate from this area. But unfortunately, their father was the only economic dependence of the overall family. So their mother decided to run a top restaurant to subsist in a hard time after her husband's death. But although their mother has dedicated lots of time into her job, but the economic status was not efficiently improved. So the government and the NGOs decided to collaborate with each other to help this family to eventually recover from this natural disaster. And the Yazoo was not a only one case. There are still lots of the victims are severely suffered from this natural disaster. So it's very important for the government and the NGO and the other private sector to integrate and collaborate with each other to amplify the efficiencies and the potent to support this family. And as you can see on the right, the image on the right hand side, the first left female is the former first lady during that time, and the first lady is the wife of the president. And this event was held by the Child Welfare League Foundation, and as you can see, the people standing in the middle is Yaju and her family. Well, if you are really looking into the relevant sources, you can find the relevant information on the network's address below. Yeah, and finally, it's my own personal reflection. Well, I'm also a resident residing in the southern Taiwan, so I also experienced this very immersive cyclone. Well, also I live in the urban area, and the damage on the urban area is not substantial as a rural area, or more specifically, a mountainous area. But I still experience a very memorable disaster during that time. Well, and this typhoon will still cause lots of the floods in my neighborhood, and the flood severely affect the lowland area, in particular with the regions interfered with the excessive extraction of the groundwater. Because we know if we exceed lots of the groundwater in a certain area, this circumstance will lead to the descendant of the of the land level, right? And in the in turn increase the risk of the flood. Yeah, and furthermore, the gale brought by the typhoon also messed the cityscape because lots of the metropolis facility, now the bicycle, but also the billboard, but also some kinds of the building will be damaged to some extent. Yeah, and this kind of a situation will make the cityscape much more terrible. Yeah, and ultimate lesson from the catastrophe is first of all is striking the balance between ecological sustainability and economic development. It's very important because the society worldwide has experienced very dramatically increased development, but it will to some extent damage our natural environment. And so it is a very critical lesson for us to strike a balance between each other, right? And then the second one is the proper regulation introduction. Our governments have to introduce appropriate rule to to regulate not only the business but also ordinary people for their behavior to to make a damage on the natural environment. It's very important. And also another one is the coordination and the cooperation of the global level and the private and the public relation. Not only, as I mentioned before, private sector cooperation with the private sector domestically is very important, but the collaboration with the international organization is a very crucial too. Yeah, so the Taiwanese government and the other domestic academic institute will invite the international organization to Taiwan to hold some some conferences and some meeting to discuss about the issue. Yeah, and also signing a memorandum to promote the collaboration with each other. Yeah, okay, so that's our presentation. I also hope that you are enjoying the topic today. So thank you very much.